Good morning. I've been given 15 minutes, so let's get right into it. My name is Sriram Raghavan. I live in Buffalo, New York. I've lived there for the last 15 years. I have a day job. I'm in IT, computers. I work from 9 to 5 or 9 to 6. That is the job that pays bills. That is the job that pays for the car I have, the house I have, my cell phone, everything. I also have a passion, and the passion is that I have a responsibility. Mark Zuckerberg has a responsibility. He's the CEO of Facebook, has the responsibility to make sure that Facebook is carried on. It does well. Mahatma Gandhi had the responsibility that India gets independence. As a person of Indian origin, I have the moral responsibility and the ethical responsibility to make sure that our culture does not die away. And because I have that responsibility, I became a storyteller. And that is my passion. I am a storyteller of Mahabharata. I go from place to place and tell stories. We all need water. Water is very essential to man. There is water. 70% of the world is water. There is water in the air. There is water outside on the streets. There is water in every one of us. There is water in Kuvam. But the only water we can drink is something like that bottle. Therefore, even though there is truth everywhere, there is dharma everywhere, our ancestors realized that in our age, it is going to be impossible. It is going to be impossible for people to go to 12 or 15 years of Gurukula and study. They realized that in Kali Yuga, it is going to be more and more difficult. So they gave us an easy way of learning and understanding truth. They said, by virtue of listening to a story, we can understand truth. We can understand dharma. By virtue of listening to a character like Yudhishthira over and over again from his birth till the time he goes to heaven, we can not only learn that one has to live the life of truth, but if you slip even once, you have to get a glimpse of hell. There is only a certain age group, about 5 to 20, so to speak, where a child acquires enough knowledge which shapes the rest of his life. There's a certain age group. It's between a certain age group that a child learns maximum. My favorite movie is Michael Madara Kamarajan because I grew up in a certain era. My mother's favorite movie is Kurendayum Deivamum. A kid who is in college today, his favorite movie is probably Singham. There is no reasoning behind which one is better. All that matters is what is fed to a child within a certain age group. I'll tell you a story. I was telling the story of Shantanu and Satyavati. Shantanu meets Satyavati. He smells a divine fragrance. He meets Satyavati. He gets married to Satyavati, but before that, Satyavati's father imposes a condition. That the sons born to Satyavati and Shantanu should become the next king. Devavrata should not become the next king. Shantanu didn't know what to do. He came back. Devavrata went and spoke to Satyavati's father and asked him, why can't Satyavati marry Shantanu? Satyavati's father said, this is my condition. The sons born to Satyavati and Shantanu should become the next king. You should not become the next king. Devavrata, without batting an eyelid, without pausing for a moment, said, is that it? I give up my throne because I want my father to be happy. Satyavati's father gave a counter condition. He said, that's okay, but what if your sons come after the kingdom? What do we do then? Devavrata didn't think twice. He immediately said, is that it? I give up my right to married life because I want my father to be happy. Incredible. How can a person do like that? Give up married life without, he didn't go back and say, let me think for 2 days. Without batting an eyelid. Because he kept his dad at that pedestal. Nothing was more important to him. He didn't think twice. Can I be without female company? Can I be without sex? Nothing. He just gave it up just like that. And when I was telling the story in Buffalo, New York, which is where I tell most of my stories, in a congregation, there was an 8-year-old child who had come with his mother. And that child heard the story, and as I was finishing it and talking about how important parents are in our life, because without them we are nothing, this child started crying. This child started crying and he ran out of the room. I didn't know why. His mother ran after him after I finished talking. And while I was driving back home, his mother called me. I asked, what happened? What happened to your son? She said, when I went after him, my son told me, I'm sorry, mommy, I've been a bad child. I've been telling things that I shouldn't be telling. I have not been respectful to you and daddy. This is an 8-year-old child and it has made an impact in America. Wherever we go, it's not just Mahabharata. My Sanskritam teacher, I learned Sanskritam there, I have a few teachers. My Sanskritam teacher, one of them, is 19 years old, born and brought up in America. She teaches me Sanskritam. How? How is that even possible? I was curious. And she speaks Sanskritam just like it's a mother tongue. To her, Sanskritam was a way of life. And that's what we do wherever we go. It doesn't matter if it's a congregation like this. We bring our children everywhere. Why? Because it is only in places like this that we can create a relationship with our children. And when we create a relationship with our children, when we grow up and become older, they will have something to relate to us with. Otherwise, what do they relate to us with? Can we just go back and talk to a child about this forum? And they will say that I will not come. That's what children do. They will rebel. Which child in the world says, yes, I'm going to go to school today? Nobody does that. It is our responsibility to bring them and teach them this culture. And that is what I do. And that is why teaching this Mahabharata is so important. And we do that a lot in America. This is a historic moment today. Because somebody from there is coming here and talking about Mahabharata, and more of this is going to happen because as I see it, our culture has started living and thriving in America. Thank you.
I hope it's a trailer.
The American proof பண்ணிட்டார் கரெக்டா 14 நிமிஷம் முடிச்சிட்டார். மிக்க நன்றி. மிக்க நன்றி. பேசுறது பறக்கிறது ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். விஷயத்தில் ரொம்ப நன்றி. நான் ஒரு ஸ்பெஷல் மீட்டிங்கை ஸ்ரீராம் ஆரம்பிக்கு ஏற்பாடு பண்ணி வாண்ட் ஹேவ் சம் யூத் ஃபேக்ட் நல்ல தாட்ஸ் பெர்மிட் எவ்வளோ நாள் ஊரில் இருப்பான்னு கேட்டால் வில் அரேஞ்ச் ஃபார் யூத் மீட்டிங் ஃபார் தேங்க்யூ ஆங்கிலத்திலே சொல்லுங்கள்.